Alright guys, Tyler down here at Emerald City Guitars with my pick of the day, which today is this beautiful 1997 Gibson ES-175 in beautiful natural finish. So the 175 is a pretty cool model. It was first introduced in 1949. It was one of Gibson's first laminated top arch tops. And yeah, as late back as 49 they were doing laminated tops. And of course, laminated tops are much cheaper to produce than are carved tops. So the idea with the 175 as a model was to be a sort of a more budget-friendly L5. So when these came out, as the name suggests, they were $175, and this is at a time when the L5s were, I don't know, maybe close to $300, maybe more. But it is an interesting model in its own right. It's basically a sort of less fancy version of the very famous ES-295. You know, obviously, that's the one you see with Scotty Moore, with Elvis, and all the Sun recordings and stuff. But this is a little bit different. Instead of the wraparound trapeze tailpiece, it just has the regular trap here with the standard archtop bridge. And also, these came in the standard finishes, whereas the 295 were always in that really cool gold top. But other than that, pretty much the same model. Really, really awesome, just quality guitar. So one cool thing about this guitar specifically is that it came from one of our really good friends in Southern California who's been a collector for a long time. And at one point he had this tremendous collection of vintage natural finish Gibsons. Remember, he had one of the most beautiful 59 335s in natural on earth. And he had a huge collection of them. They've all since left, but this was the last one that he hung on to from that collection to kind of remember all of it. And so it came from a very discerning natural finish expert, so to speak. And that says a lot about how great this guitar is. This one isn't particularly vintage. It's a 1997, like I said, but it is still very cool. As the two 57 classic humbuckers here. Of course, this Florentine brackets sharp cutaway that everybody loves. I got the Kluson tuners, split parallelogram inlays. Nice clean maple on the top and back. It's not too obscenely flamed, but it is really, really beautiful. It's not all that often that I'm blown away by modern guitars, but this one is just, it really is amazing. And today we have an amazing amp to play it through. This was built by a man named Brent Bagby, who's actually our amp tech here. He works at a shop in town called Solderhaus, but it is more or less a Tweed Twin clone, but it is the most meticulously built one I've ever seen. Brent used so many vintage parts to build this amp that it's just about the closest thing to a 59 Twin that you'll be able to find within a reasonable price range. So both of these transformers are out of a Leslie organ from the 50s, so that's awesome. Pretty much the same ones that would come out of the amps at the same time. All new old stock 50s carbon comp resistors. For the speakers, he actually sourced a pair of original 1959 Jensen, the Bluebell P12s. Awesome, awesome speakers. Exactly what you'd find in an original 59. He even went so far to find an original 1950s Fender two-prong power cord. Lots of these modern amps have three prongs, and that's where the tone gets out. Just the third prong, it just tends to leak out, so it's not going to happen with this one. So the really cool thing about this amp is that the transformers are wired for switchable power output, so there's a high and a low power. So you can go in the lower power setting and get this really great creamy overdrive, whereas you can switch over to the high setting if you want to get those really vintage correct perforated eardrums. So we're going to start on the low setting and see how we feel once we start cooking. All right, guys, so there you have it. Beautiful 1997 Gibson ES-175 through the best Tweed Twin clone that we've ever had in the shop. Come on down, try them both out. We'll see you next time.